Hey everybody, we're back with more Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Last time, I tried to kill a fly on my keyboard and ended the recording because I hit the keybind to end the recording, and I'm not good enough at editing currently. I don't know how to splice videos together because I just kind of the only thing I know how to do with editing is to freaking add text to a video in like Microsoft Video Editor. That is all I know. So yeah, I don't know anything beyond that. So I just kind of had to leave the last recording where I ended up accidentally pressing the freaking recording stop button, which some people might be asking why I have that keybind. And my answer to that is, well, I have I'll say where my keybinds are here, I guess, but on the very right side of my keyboard there's the plus for starting recording, there's the minus for stopping, there's the asterisk for pausing, and then there's the delete right next to the numpad 0 for unpausing. So I have all four of those, and the fly landed like at the very top right of my computer, or not my computer, my keyboard. So I grabbed a shirt in my hand and I just slammed the entire thing down with megatons of force or whatever in order to try to kill the fly, because when you're killing a fly, you gotta have fast reactions, and like do it you gotta do it before they have a chance to move. And the thing is, in addition to ending the recording, to add salt in the wound, the fly survived and got away before I could kill it. So yeah, that's what happened last recording. I mean, granted, when I started off this channel, all the videos I did were 30 minutes long, and that one ended at like 30 minutes because of that. And also we ended at the end of a part or whatever, to be continued and all that. So it wasn't that bad, I guess, but still, just want to give that heads up. And now that I've wasted 2.5 minutes, let's get back into the game, shall we? Oh right, I have to save because I haven't moved since the end of last recording. Besides the fact that I ended up pressing a button to continue. Alright. April 15th, Baker Street. Undisclosed time. See, that's why I hate grown-ups. All they do is feed you a pack of lies and take stuff away from you. Oh, really, Miss Lestrade? Tell me, is that overcoat keeping you warm? What? Oh my, surely you were given that. Yeah, the D let me keep it, after I looked daggers at him for long enough. It went through the pockets and then said, go on then, have it, before telling me to scupper. Always pays off giving people a look like you ate them. I don't know what eating people has to do with anything, but I can't help feeling that it's going to get you into serious trouble one day. What I really wanted was that nice shiny disc, mind. The music box disc. But Mr. Windibank said it was practically worthless. I think I'm gonna go and have another bash. Give him a long odd stare. I think not, Miss Lestrade. We shan't enter Windibanks again today. Why not? That's not fair. And before it's just closing time or something. Can't be helped, I'm afraid. The police are investigating the scene now and taking a statement from Mr. Windibank. But that disc of mine, I had the ticket for the coat, and it was in that coat's pocket. And there should be something else and all. That's what that rotten cove said, ain't it? Yes, he did mention something about another article, didn't he? Well then, that's mine too, whatever it is. Now she's really pushing her luck. Quite the greedy one, isn't she? Then again, I guess you have to be if you're a pickpocket. Miss Lestrade, I think it's time to admit defeat. You've had your haul for the day. Yeah, and it's all your fault, Sholmes. So what are your plans now? Will you dine with us this evening?
Eh?
Iris would be delighted to cook, I'm sure, and I might entertain you with a modest violin recital.
Nota.
Oh.
Why would I come round to your place, eh? Have you lost your head or something?
No, I mean, it's literally right there. You can literally see the house on the right side of the screen. It's not that big of a deal. And off she goes. A true tsundere she is.
Oh dear, she's gone.
Having reviled on me quite unnecessarily, I might add. I can't help wondering if perhaps she might turn up anyway. Interesting. Once she's had a chance to calm down, I think there's a good chance she'll decide to come. Very well then. I'll inform Iris to set a plate for our potential guests at the dinner table this evening. And one more thing. I should be glad of your company later too. Sorry? I believe I will have a rather splendid surprise to show you.
Oh, how exciting! What is it?
I can't spoil it. She'll have to wait and see, Miss Usaru. Until later then. And off he goes. Ain't got much. What else can we even do? I don't think there is much. Yeah, there's literally nothing else to do besides go. I guess we're just time skipping ahead, probably. 3:46 p.m. Well, I don't know. Do people usually eat at 3:46? Or like 3:30, 3:45, whatever? I wouldn't know. I'm not in London.
Ah, Susie and Runo, come in, come in.
Good afternoon, Iris.
Thank you so much for breakfast this morning. Oh, don't mention it. Goodness, look at the time already.
Busy as always?
I am. I'm preparing everything for dinner this evening.
Ah, already? You're obviously cooking something special, are you?
Oh yes, after all we have a special guest joining us. Guess who it is? Go on. You'll never guess.
Look at those little eyes of hers shining.
Oh dear, it is awkward when you already know the answer, isn't it? It's Ginny! Isn't that exciting? Oh, what a surprise! Yes, that's wonderful news. I totally didn't know.
Wow, Iris seems overjoyed at the idea. I mean, she does still have her thing.
I can't wait to learn some pickpocketing tips from a real professional.
Oh yes, that does sound like fun.
I'm not sure that's entirely appropriate. Are you, Mr. Naruhodo? Are you, Mr. Naruhodo?
By the way, Iris, what's Mr. Sholmes up to?
Helly? Oh, he's been like that ever since he got back.
Hello, Mr. Sholmes? I beg that you won't speak to me. Sorry? I don't know who you are, but kindly take your leave. As you can see, I'm not here. I don't know how to respond to that.
I do apologize. When he gets like this, he's completely oblivious to everything.
Yes, I see.
Really, he behaves just like a child sometimes, Hurley does.
Yeah. You know it's right when it's coming from the child.
Mr. Sholmes and Iris have something of a parent and child relationship, don't they?
Yes, except that Iris is clearly the parent here. Come to think of it, I wonder where her real parents are. Ryunosuke, you absolute dunderhead. I mean, maybe that's an appropriate question if you're asking about her mother. But the dad? We've gone over this.
What's the matter, Runo? You have ever such a funny look on your face.
Actually, now that I think about it, wasn't it like back in the last case,
when one of the first times we talked to Iris, it seems like Susato realized the last name Wilson or whatever, and then she got interrupted, so we never went back to it. Oh, no, it's nothing. I know what it is. Why does this girl live here with Mr. Sholmes, you're wondering? Am I right? How? How did you... Oh, Bruno, I can read you like a book.
This girl's dangerous.
Don't worry, you can ask me anything, I won't mind.
You know what, might as well. Let's get some lore on you. But first off, take this. This is a boring old thing, really, but...
I don't really like boring things.
Ah. Looks like Japanese modesty is easily misinterpreted by young Western children.
I mean, who does like boring things? No one wants to be shown something boring. Come to think of it, you're always introducing things with, this is boring, but it's a bad habit, you should stop it.
I'll be sure to let the entire population of the Empire of Japan know on my return. Good lord. Alright, what do you got?
Ginny.
So, by Ginny, you mean Miss Lestrade? Miss Lestrade? I don't know, I'm just gonna say... Frickin' Lestrade, okay. The young woman from the McGilded case 2 months ago, right?
Yes, who also stole my experimental smoke grenade launcher. Although, after that trial I invited her back and here, and we had dinner together. And now we're the best of friends. Oh, what a lovely tale. Yes, now if I bump into her on the street, she runs away as fast as she can. Oh. And I chase after her down the back alleys.
Interesting idea of friendship. Listen, they're just playing a game of tag that involves grenade launchers. What could go wrong?
And then I let her have the latest color of smoke grenade I've developed. Oh. There are so many beautiful colors in the world. Ginny wants me to make a whole rainbow.
What new color did you add? Did you add, like, what, blue, yellow, brown, orange, red? Because last time she had, like, what, pink and green, I think? I suppose this means you've let Miss Lestrade keep the smoke grenade launcher, have you?
Yes, that's right. I got bored of it anyway. Hurley always reacts the same way when I shoot him with it now.
Poor Hurley.
Oh, I can't wait for Ginny to arrive. It's been too long since she last came over. I'm so excited.
I just hope she actually does come.
I'm sure you've been wondering why it is that I live here with Hurley, haven't you?
Well, it has crossed my mind. That and where are your real parents? Uh-oh.
My mommy and daddy aren't with me anymore.
Well then. This is certainly... Music died down and she's using... And I'm pretty sure this is like one of the only times they've seen her with a expression like that. Yikes. I mean, we knew about the dad already.
Mummy passed away when I was born. And about the same time my father... Well, he had to go to a faraway land because of one of the cases he and Hurley were working on.
Oh. Wait a minute. Did you say he and Hurley?
Yes. Daddy and Hurley were always solving mysterious cases together.
She didn't mention that before.
He wrote them all up in his diaries. That's what's in the middle chest over there.
Really? He recorded them all?
So, you mean it's true, Mr. Sholmes really did have a partner with whom he tackled some of his most taxing cases. Oh yes. I mean, it's always nice to have one, isn't it?
So Mr. Sholmes' partner was your father?
Exactly. Hurley told me I wasn't allowed to look in the chest. But that only made me want to look even more, so I opened it up. And found your father's memoirs. Yes, sir. So I asked Hurley, who wrote these? He nearly fell off his chair. I can imagine the look of him doing so. Almost like he has an animation for falling down in this game. Who would have thought? But then he told me. That's when I found out that the author of all those accounts was my father. So Iris's father is Mr. Sholm's partner. Well, I'm pretty sure we already know who her father is. And, you know, that makes me think back to the first case. Because Giselle Brett, she got, well, quote-unquote, arrested for murder. But then because she wasn't from Japan, because she was an English woman or whatever, she got taken out of the country in order to be, like, I don't know, interrogated or whatever. So I wonder if that's going to come back into play or something. Because I feel like there's more than meets the eye to that case, and we never figured out what the hell her motive was for killing Dr. Wilson. I've practically lived with Hurley all my life. I was tiny when he took me in. So, it came as quite a shock. When Hurley told me he wasn't really my daddy, I mean. He must have done. I wonder why Mr. Sholmes chose to tell you, and at such a young age. Hurley says it's because he wouldn't have been able to hide it from me. Oh? Well, having lived with Hurley all these years, I might say that his ways have rubbed off on me. There are some things I can just see. Well, I'd say you see them better than him, but that's neither here nor there. Especially lies. I almost know when people are lying before they open their mouth sometimes. Right. Anyway, I was so fascinated when I read Daddy's diaries. That's what inspired me to write The Adventures of Herlock Sholmes, actually. I'd always assumed Mr. Sholmes simply told you all of those thrilling stories. Oh no, Hurley's hopeless like that. Yeah, he seems to forget every case after it happened, right as he goes on to the next. He forgets everything. As soon as he's solved a case, it all but vanishes from his mind. Oh, I see. The other day it was so embarrassing, as usually totally forgot about the case he just solved. So the very next day, he gathered together all the people involved and proceeded to solve the case again. It was quite a shock for everyone. You can say that again. It was quite a shock for everyone. No, I didn't mean literally. You share your father's surname, don't you, Iris? That's right, Wilson. Daddy is Dr. John H. Wilson. I learned from his diaries that he's a doctor of medicine, you see. That's what prompted me to study and study so that I could earn a doctorate as well.
Iris's father, who went to some distant land, and is a doctor by the name of John H. Wilson. Finally! Good lord! It took you over 2 months to realize this. The court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I forget the name I gave the judge in Japan. Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case. The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson. Good lord, took you long. That's right. Visiting professor of medicine at Imperial Yume University. And the man who, in the most bizarre of circumstances, lost his life just before we left Japan. Miss Susato. First off, I just want to say, she said that, Dr. Wilson, Watson, whatever you want to call him, he left very early for Japan in Iris's life. So that just makes me wonder about why was he over there for so long? I know he's like a doctor of medicine, but if Iris hasn't seen him for that long, then I wonder what the reason behind that is, and if we'll get to learn about that. Yes. Perhaps we shouldn't pursue this conversation any further at this time. But then when are we? I think that would be for the best. I mean, obviously we don't want to tell her that her father's dead, but Yikes, that would be a bad thing to tell her. Shit. When are we? Ah, my dear fellows, how good to see you. Yeah, thank you for breaking up the tension, Sholmes. Very much appreciated. Even though you're probably doing it unintentionally.
Eek! Mr. Sholmes.
Why ever did you not make your presence known to me before? Well, no matter now. So, how the devil are you? We've been with you most of the day. Goodness, really? This man has memory loss most severe.
Do tell me, Mr. Sholmes, is your violin unscathed?
Frankly, I'm surprised he even knows who we are, considering how much he forgets on a daily basis. It probably took frickin' months just to get... It probably took all of these 2 months just to get our names down and remember that we're living with him. My violin? Whatever are you talking about, dear madam?
Oh,
Never mind that now, I have something far more interesting to show you. Susada's just like,
why are we still here? Just to suffer.
behold, my dear fellows.
Oh, another music box disc.
And it has those same imprints on it. Those same spikes. No, not another disc, Mr. Susado. This is the one Gregson demanded we hand over as evidence, Mr. McGilld's disc. But it's a different color.
Oh my!
And what's it doing here? You know, at times, Mr. Naruhodo, I think that though I have an undeniable turn for detection, I may well be more adept at larceny.
Oh, that would be wonderfully exciting. I'd be your pickpocketing assistant. And Reno could be our go-to lawyer if we ever got caught.
Oh, that would be amazing. Just, Sholmes gets caught for larceny. Iris is caught as an accomplice. And then frickin' Ryunosuke over here just says, alright, gotta get them off something that they actually did commit. Right.
Plus, Susie has such a beautiful handwriting, she could write all our menacing crime notifications. Yes, I'd be delighted.
I'm just gonna pretend this conversation never happened, I think. Probably best for the lawyer. Bum bum boom boom bum. The music box. Disc. I don't understand. How did that disc come to be in your possession? I thought Inspector Gregson took it back to Scotland Yard. Quite correct. And that sort of uncompromising attitude is precisely why I always carry some of this.
That's a bar of caramel, Mr. Sholmes.
Your one and only friend in times of loneliness, if I'm not mistaken. If you will humor me, my dear friends, cast your minds back to when the good detective confiscated the disc. What? I'll be taking that whatever it is of McGillard's down to the yard, thank you very much. So hand it over. Oh yes, of course. The police demand some in his evidence, my dear fellow. We have no choice but to capitulate. It's all yours, Inspector. Oh, so Sholmes is the one that handed it off. For the briefest of moments, I had the disc in my hand, did I not? Yes, you did, but I still don't understand. It was at precisely that moment that I summoned my one and only friend into action. I pressed the disc into the pair of bars like this. That's amazing! The disc and all the minuscule protrusions have made an image in the caramel. Indeed, this caramel is quite exceptional. I developed it myself, you know. Suitably soft for making an impression but resistant to melting. The result of a precisely controlled solution.
How extraordinary.
Damn, so it works as a snack and as a detective tool? Nice. Carried a pair of these on one's person frequently proves very useful indeed. Take a house key, for example. A simple press in its unique form is duplicated. I can enter anyone's property at will and never without high sucrose nourishment.
Yes, it sounds illegal. From the image I was able to create this. I confess I was most curious to know what manner of music would issue from the disc when played. Music on the disc.
Do tell us then, Mr. Sholmes. What music does the disc play?
Well, unfortunately, I have no idea. No idea? None whatsoever. Are you familiar with the workings of a music box, my dear fellows?
No, I'm afraid not. Goodness, you don't know, Bruno.
Oh boy.
Inside a music box is a special middle piece called a comb. That's what produces the sound. Small protuberances pluck the different teeth of the comb as they rotate past it, making the different notes. The first music box to be invented using a rotating used a rotating cylinder with protuberances on it.
Okay. But over time, a new type of player was produced, which used discs such as these. With that development, the popularity of music discs spread far and wide, all around the globe. I just realized it's playing Sholmes' theme. Very nice.
Why exactly?
Because the discs are easy to produce and can be interchanged, blah blah blah. There are a great many firms in Europe now manufacturing music boxes as a result.
It is wonderful to be able to enjoy music even when no performer is present.
But it is the very success of the invention that means we are now presented with an insurmountable problem.
What do you mean?
I'm assuming he means what type of box it uses. As you may imagine, the construction of one firm's music box does not match that of another. And we have no way of knowing in which music box this particular disc was designed to be played. There is no resolution to this problem, I'm afraid. It's quite intractable.
I see, so that's why.
Naturally, I tested the disc in those few music boxes I have at my disposal. But as you can hear, to no avail. The results were equally unsatisfactory in this one. So, I am presently engaged in acquiring an example of all the music boxes ever made in Europe.
Every single one? That's Helly for you, always taking things too far.
But my dear girl, an unsolved riddle is quite repugnant to my constitution.
But surely all the different types in Europe will amount to a huge volume of music boxes, won't it?
Yes, that is certainly true. In the worst case, I shall just have to ask you to vacate the attic room.
What?
Magnus McGilden. Not a name I expected to hear again so soon.
Yes, it's only been 2 months since that grisly case. Music just cuts out abruptly. Yeah. Mr. McGilden perished within hours of the trial's conclusion. At least Soseki hasn't suffered the same fate, supposedly. Was it the curse of the Reaper? No one knows, still now. The omnibus was reduced to a pile of ash, not a shred of evidence remained. And with the man's death, the truth about the murder in which he was so intimately involved was buried. Even though we successfully established Mr. McGilden's innocence in the trial, the newspapers are still claiming that it remains an unsolved case.
The murder of the brickmaker, Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason. In the end, the truth of the matter remains a mystery. We still have no idea what really happened that night. And although Mr. McGillicuddy was found not guilty through my defense, I still don't know if that was the right judgment or not. Well, that's enough doom and gloom for one day. Time for dinner. Also, yes, the case is far from closed. Well, it's time I started getting things ready for dinner, I think. Ginny will be here before long. Thank you, Iris. Oh, will you let me... Well, you must let me help you, then. Of course, Susie. There's plenty to do. I think I shall investigate the condition of my faithful performing partner. Now then, where did I leave it? Let this be a lesson to you, Mr. Sholmes. Never leave anything too precious with the pawnbroker. Yes. You may be right. Oh, that reminds me of something Mr. Windibank said before. He said that he had a manuscript of Iris's in pawn, didn't he? Did he? Yes, he definitely mentioned it. Mr. Sholmes' latest tale of otherworldly mysteries lies dormant in my storeroom, were his words, I believe. So you heard about that, did you? I expect you were as incensed as I was. Oh yes, the idea of such a wonderful story languishing in Mr. Windibank's storeroom, gathering dust. My dear madam, I'm quite sure I told you already. The pawnbroker's storeroom is the safest place for it. More secure than a bank's vault. And what about your Stradivarius, Hurley? Was that safe and secure? Well, there may be the occasional mix-up. Caused by a certain impetuous someone not too far from me now. Do you have any idea how long it took me to write that Baskerville story, Hurley? Oh, it sounds so exciting, the Hound of the Baskervilles. I should love to read it. Did we say something wrong? Ah! What's going on here? Why does it feel like an icy chill just swept through the room? Susie, what did you just say? You said the Hound of the Baskervilles. But how could you know the full title? Oh, she stole it. Well then. I can't believe Susato is a criminal. Can't believe we're gonna have to defend her in court now. Also, clearly, she didn't steal it. Clearly, she read the title of this episode, alright? This chapter, whatever you want it, this case. Well, that's because Miss Susato is such a great fan of all the stories about Mr. Sholmes, of course. But Bruno, the Hound of the Baskervilles has never been published. What? When I showed Hurley the manuscript, he told me that I wasn't allowed to publish it yet. I don't understand. That's why he said that he'd keep it safe. Until it was the right time for the story to be made public, you see. So that's why the manuscript is with the Windibanks? And yet, how could Susie here know its title? Well, Hurley, what's going on? Well, time to kick our new housemates out. Ah. What is it, Mr. Sholmes? It would appear our guest has arrived. Oh, okay, I guess we're just ignoring that. Hi there, Miss Lestrade. This was a bad idea. I knew I weren't welcome. I need a... Well, sorry, I'm so used to the Cockney accent or whatever. This was a bad idea. I knew I wasn't welcome. I'm going. And she's out. No, wait, Mrs. Strayed. Aw, she's bashful. We've all been eagerly awaiting your arrival. Haven't we, Iris? Hello? Oh yes, just wait there, Guinea. We'll have everything ready in a jiffy. Come along, Susie. Right, of course. It's a pleasure to see you here, Mrs. Strayed. Please make yourself at home.
Don't stand in the doorway, my dear girl. Come along in. What say you to some Lindell short? I won't take no for an answer.
Meddlesome it is, then. Hey, it's Kitty. Kitty again. Wagga hi. Meow. Kitty cat. Cute kitty. That evening, Iris prepared us all a meal that was even more delicious than usual. Mr. Sholmes' violin performance was in no way meddlesome. And Gina, as we came to call her, taught us all about how to steal things from one another without being noticed. Everyone thoroughly enjoyed themselves well into the night. Good to hear. Friends spending time with other friends. 9:34 p.m. Naruhodo's legal consultancy. That was a very enjoyable evening, wasn't it? Oh yes, Iris's cooking was truly divine. And I feel as though I can still hear the enchanting strains of Mr. Sholmes' violin even now. Best of all, I bet I could steal the glasses from his lordship's face next time we're in court. Naruhodo-san, could I consult with you about something? I wonder. What's the matter, Susato-san? It's about the telegram I received. Ah. The one that arrived first thing this morning, I suppose. I've been summoned. What? Summoned? What do you mean? The telegram is from the Lord Chief Justice's office. Lord Strongheart has asked to see me. The Lord Chief Justice? When? Tomorrow morning. What? Then we have to start preparing at once. Oh no, that won't be necessary, Naruhodo-san. I've been summoned alone. Alone? What on earth for? I have no idea. I suppose I shall find out tomorrow. Well, considering those ellipses, I feel like you actually do know. What's all this about? Whatever it is, it's making me feel very uneasy. What, is she gonna be a juror? Come in! Who could that be, I wonder? It's one of 3 people, and it's probably Sholmes. Never mind, it's Iris. Good evening, friends! Whenever someone barges into a room, I expect it to be Sholmes. Except, actually no. The person knocked. Sholmes wouldn't knock, he would just kick down the door, or come in unnoticed. Ah, Iris, hello again. Oh, and Gina here is too. And Gina, too! Yes, Ginny's gonna stay with us tonight. She's going to sleep in with me. Isn't that right, Ginny? Well, yeah. How lovely. Let me make a pot of tea. You know, I've learned so much today. Oh, what? In particular? Oh, those things Ginny showed us. Wasn't it wonderful? Ah, you mean all those pickpocketing techniques? We had fun trying them out on each other, didn't we? I think I've awakened a natural talent. I could earn a living from it. You might be getting ahead of yourself a little there. So, what brings you up to our humble quarters at this late hour? Well, you see, I came to return this. Wait, what? That's mine! Oh my, however did you... I told you, didn't I? I have a natural talent for it.
Oh yes, I'd forgotten. Iris literally is a child genius.
So anyway here, you can have it back. Not that I really understand why you wear it though.
Ah, thank you.
Alright then, good night. Oyasumi.
Yes, oyasumi.
So this is your office, is it? What do you think, Ginny?
I think I wouldn't fancy my chances with a loyal what lives in a place like this.
Yes, me too.
Seems as though Iris here still has something she'd like to talk about.
I suppose she probably wants to talk about the manuscript.
Yes, I suppose she probably does. This is new music. It's like a way more... It's like a version of Susato's theme, but like... Or what I believe is Susato's theme. It plays whenever we're in the consultancy. And it plays in scenes with her. But... It's like a version with only string. With like string and like maybe a metal xylophone. Anyways, the manuscript.
Iris, I suppose you're hoping to talk about the manuscript, aren't you? Aren't you going to tell me? I'm so sorry. I need a little more time, please. Alright, I understand. I hope I haven't made you feel awkward. Oh no, not at all, Iris, not at all. I don't know what all this is about, really, but... It's a story you made up, is it, Iris? That Mantel script, or whatever you call it. It's not exactly a story that I made up, it's something I read in Daddy's diaries. Daddy's? That's right. I didn't suppose I mentioned it to you before, Ginny, but... My daddy was Hurley's assistant once, his partner. Eh? They solved all sorts of strange and mysterious cases together. Is that right, mister?
Apparently so. I was as surprised as you are, though.
And Daddy wrote all the details of every single case down, you see, in his diaries. So I studied them and wrote my stories based on what actually happened. So, where's the old man now, then?
She doesn't know. We do.
But he is in a far-off place, to say the least. He had to go away on urgent business to a faraway land, and he'll be gone a very long time. So, I've never really met him.
Oh, right. Come to think of it, I don't know anything about Gina's parents either. Perhaps we should ask about her. Let's do that first, shall we? Your parents. I've realized that I don't know anything about your parents, Gina.
I ain't got any, ever. Never did have. Oh. Look, the Etane's full of orphans like me. No one wants nothing to do with us. From the minute we're born, not even our mums. But we all stick together. The older ones look out for the little ones and make sure that they get by. So that's why you're a pickpocket. Nah, Dovin's my laugh, I love it. I'll get a kick out of it every time I lift some pompous idiot's purse. And that's how we live, we all afford to eat. I'm not Robin Hood, ain't I? That's how I see it. Oh, Gina. I do think about it sometimes. What it'd be like to have parents, I mean. I always thought it'd make everything alright. But having listened to what Iris just said, it sounds like having parents ain't always easy either. Oh. I mean, if you know you never had them, you don't feel like you're always wanting to meet them. It's true. I do want to see Daddy so much. Oh, Iris.
At heart, she is still a kid, even if she is a genius. You know? Alright, let's talk about the last thing. The Hound of the Baskervilles. Iris, this Hound of the Baskervilles story. I take it that it's another tale inspired by your father's accounts.
That's right. I thought it was fascinating. But it's different somehow, from the other cases I mean.
How?
I don't really know, but it must be special in some way. Because after I'd written it and showed the manuscript to Hurley, he turned as white as a sheet. It was the first time I've seen him act like that.
It pains me I have to say this after you've toiled over it for so long, Iris. But this story must not be published at this time, under any circumstances.
But why not? It's one of my best works.
I'm not at liberty to say. Not now. So please do not ask me.
I wonder if you know, the cases that are shown in this game, or like, you know, case 2, 3, 4, and this one, I wonder if the titles are actually based off of legitimate Sherlock Holmes stories. Sorry, I had to actually think of what the real name of this version of him is just corrupt in my mind. But I wonder if they're named off of real works, and like, if you were like an actual Sherlock Holmes fan, maybe you would have like a kind of an insight into some cases before it happens. Because this feels like this Hound of the Baskervilles thing. It feels like it's important. Maybe it's like related to her dad in like a heavy way. All right then, I won't.
But I do solemnly swear that I will explain everything one day, Iris, when the time is right.
I hope we get to see that day. And that's how the manuscript came to be with Mr. Windibank, isn't it? Yes. Hurley said it had to be somewhere very safe. That really gets my goat, that does. He's treating you like a child. It's mean, that's what he is, keeping secrets like that.
I'm sure Mr. Sholmes isn't trying to be mean.
Eh?
If he said he wasn't at liberty to talk about it, I'm sure there must have been a very good reason. Have you read the story?
I think so too. You lot are too trusting for your own good. But he can't pull the wool over my eyes. Sholmes is lying to Iris, I bet my life on it.
What?
Hurley's lying to me.
What else do we have? Oh, maybe... Oh, we probably have to talk to Gina again, I have to guess. Sholmes lie. I'm gonna go a bit over my usual, because to make up for the fact that last episode was only 30 minutes. Gina, what did you mean when you said that you know Mr. Sholmes is lying to Iris?
Well, he reckons he popped that mental script or whatever, right? But come on, that's obviously a load of rubbish. Oh my, why would you think that, Gina? It's simple. If that story was really told in that... was really in that old Windibank storeroom, there's no way someone for half around way the world, in other words you, can know about it. Sorry, Iris, but if you asked me, he sold it. Without telling you. But Hurley would never do something like that. I'm sure of it. Ha! Grown-ups do a lot worse than that, believe me. Bare-faced liars, a lot of them. You just ain't realized it yet. I'm telling you, that mantle script ain't at Winterbanks. You'd soon see it if you had a look. Or if Susato would tell the truth and that she stole it from the storeroom. Even if you think you can trust Amado, that Sholmes is a liar like the rest of them. If I'm honest, I have wondered if Hurley's telling me the truth sometimes. Say. Oh, but I don't mean that I think he sold it. I mean that I sometimes wonder if he might have hidden my manuscript somewhere. Somewhere I don't know. Even though it's wrong of me to doubt him.
Don't be too hard on yourself, Iris. Huh.
Oh my goodness, look at the time. Come along, Guinea. We should go back downstairs.
Yeah, alright.
And please, don't mention any of this to Hurley, will you?
No, of course not. Good night then, Iris. Good night, Gina.
You must let me make breakfast for you tomorrow morning, I insist. Oh, yes, please. I can't wait, Susie. Good night, then. Oyasumi.
And there they go. Iris. Sure is easy to forget, isn't it? Sometimes she speaks just like an adult. But deep down, she's still just a child.
Well, I think it's time that I turned in for the night too, Naruhodo-san. Oyasumi.
Dr. John H. Wilson, Iris's father. But also, the name of the murdered visiting professor at Yume University. It can't be a mere coincidence. There's something deeper going on. Yes. What are we showing him going to sleep? Naruhodo. Well, I think we're being awakened after going to sleep. So next time in Great Ace Attorney, we'll figure out what we're being woken up for. Adios, ciao, and bye-bye. Signing off until next time. Ja, mata ne.